Well, me and my son are down here at Sadler's Falls and Resort in Mammoth Springs, fixing to do some trout fishing. And in my opinion, this is the best place to go trout fishing. I've caught my limit here within 10-15 minutes several times. And so if y'all get a chance, come down to Sadler's Falls and Resorts. It's between Mammoth Springs and Hardy, Arkansas. And so if you leave Mammoth Springs heading toward Hardy, Arkansas, about 7 miles down the road, you're going to see a sign that says Many Islands and a Resort. Well, you take that gravel road and then you take every gravel road to the right afterwards, and you will come here. They rent out cabins. They have a building up there that sleeps a family of 14 that they rent. You have to pay to park here, and it's $7 a person. But you will see by the time this video is over with that I and my son both will have our limit. And that's my son out there. And what you do, you wade out to about chest deep. You cast your line upstream. By the time it floats downstream, you either have a bite or a fish in most cases. You can use corn, shrimp, whatever you want. I'm using power bait today, that way it stays on the line longer. A yellow power bait. But come down to Sadler's Falls. Really cool place to fish and to camp. There's been many beads that have been passed out on this river. A lot of floaters come down here, and sometimes it gets wild where people on the bank will pass out beads to women who are getting drunk as they float down the river. Reason I came up here though was to get some different bait. I'm gonna go to corn, and my son and youngest daughter took me to a Chinese restaurant the other day, and I ate some shrimp, and I brought some home with me so I can use this. The power bait that you want to get is the size of your thumb. If you use any smaller power bait, it breaks off on your hook. I bought some small power bait, that's all I could find. My son found the bigger power bait, but his is size of a small pinky, but it will come off your hook. If you get the right size power bait, you can catch fish after fish after fish with one piece. I've seen people do it, but I don't have the right size. So I'm going to go back to my normal bait, which is corn. So I've already caught 5 fish. Kept one because it swallowed the hook. My son's caught 2. Both swallowed the hook. His second fish was a really nice size. Well, my son beat me at fishing. He caught the biggest fish. Of course, I lost a really nice fish.
Big old rock.
Broke my line. I lost 2 nice fish.
2 big rocks.
But my son lost a really big fish too.
1 big rock.
But we had a good time. We both caught our limit and then some. The only fish I kept and the ones that he kept are the ones that swallowed the hooks. The ones that didn't swallow the hooks, we released them. But I hope y'all enjoy this video. May God bless each and every one of you. Now, one last portion of this video is how you clean your trout. Depending on the person. My mom, who had a friend that owned a restaurant, always told her to leave the heads on because the flavor is in the heads. You don't eat the heads, but leaving the heads on makes the fish taste better. A lot of people don't want the heads on. So if you leave the heads on, all you have to do is get them from here to here, and then taking a pair of pliers, pull out all the guts, and then cleaning the cavity out with your finger, and then washing it really good afterwards. And the way I cook trout, and everybody who has ever ate my trout loved it, said it's the best trout they ever had, is you take butter, you put it in the cavity. You know, this is after you clean the fish and it's ready to cook. You take butter and put it in the cavity, and then you take salt and pepper and garlic salt and put it in the cavity, and then you also add lemon juice, and the key to it is adding Tabasco sauce. You wrap it up in tinfoil and you put it on the grill, depending on how hot your grill is. Most times you cook them about 5 minutes on each side, and after it's cooked, you take your fingers and you just scrape the meat from the tail to the head, and the meat comes right off the bones. It's some of the best tasting fish ever. I don't like cold fish. The last trout that I caught that I cooked, we kept 10, and I cooked them up. I ate a couple of hot ones, gave some to my neighbor, and next day or a couple of days later, I was eating cold fish. And I was outside, and I would feed the raccoons, and they would grab the fish and take it away and eat it. So if you don't like seeing the heads, what you do is you do the same thing. You cut it from here to here, and then you take your knife and you slice this on both sides, and then you pull the head backwards. And when you pull the head backward, it's going to break the bone here, and you keep pulling it back, and it's going to pull all the skin off. You pull it all the way down to the tail, all that stuff comes off. And so it really depends, and then you cook it the same way, but it really depends on how you want to have your fish prepared. I typically keep trout, but there's the baby raccoons and the mama. I typically keep trout because I spend so much money. Me and my son went twice now. If you buy a 3-day non-resident pass, it's $50. So if you buy an annual fishing license, it's $80. So it's smarter to buy the annual fishing license if you're going to go more than one time. But anyway, I'm not going to keep these trout. I'm going to go see my buddy Ron Rosencrantz Monday, and my other buddy, Steve Fowler, he said he would love to have these trout. Steve is the one that has did the carvings and pieces that were missing on my Alexander Bleed clock and my George Cool 1908 or earlier cuckoo quail clock. He's a really good guy, really good Christian guy. He really knows what he's doing when he's carving stuff, and so you can find him on my both group pages that I'm the admin for on Facebook. You can find him on Facebook. You can contact me, and I will contact him to see if he wants me to give his number out. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. May God bless each and every one of you. And give me a thumbs up and leave me some comments.